Hi, it's Andy from Andy's Travel Review. I'm here today to talk to you about my favorite place I've ever been, New York City, specifically Times Square. Let's get talking. New York City has to be my all-time favorite vacation I have ever went on. Now, let's travel back in time a little bit to 2019. That's right, before the pandemic, before all the craziness that followed in 2020. March 2020, crazy time. However, I was traveling to New York City in 2019, specifically for Labor Day. I was going with a friend of mine. Now, we're both childcare workers. And at this time, we didn't make a whole lot. We actually really couldn't afford much. So that is why we planned to go Labor Day weekend. We would get there on Saturday, then we would early Saturday morning, and then we would leave early Monday morning because of Labor Day, my child center was closed, so we could take that couple day quick getaway. Now, if you're going to New York City and you are have the luxury of having time and money, I definitely recommend maybe doing at least 4 days in New York City. I the days we spent, which was only two, we didn't really eat much, to be honest. We wanted to do all of the tourist things that we could do, which meant we went without meals. I think we ate breakfast on Sunday, and Saturday night and Sunday night there was an Irish pub next to our hotel, and we ate there. And I don't we had breakfast at the airport on Saturday, but other than that, we didn't really eat much in New York City, which is kind of sad because it would have been awesome to try all the crazy, yummy, delicious New York City foods that they're famous for, like their pizza. Sadly, I didn't get a chance, but maybe next time I will, or maybe you can go and tell me all about it in the comments. Um, so my one recommendation for going to New York City is looking for hotels. We were grateful to find a hotel in the Times Square area, and it was about $300 each night, I believe. And we were staying 2 nights, so that was about 600-ish dollars. And I also purchased two Broadway tickets to see Hamilton. So that's the image up there. That one is of the stage that I took up before the show started. So that was about $600 for just the two tickets. So I ended up paying for Hamilton, and my friend ended up paying for the hotel because we were just splitting everything and it just made sense. Now, my first recommendation is to pay attention to where you're going. We did a lot of walking. You can always Uber. We wanted to walk because let's be real, we didn't have a lot of money. So we walked and got lost. And it's kind of sad to get lost in New York City because their streets are numbered and it's very easy to navigate. But use your Google Maps or your Apple Maps and try to use that way until you get the feel of it. We spent like an hour and a half walking around lost because we couldn't find our hotel. So try to plan accordingly and pay attention to the streets. They are easy once you are used to it. The next thing I wanted to talk about was I highly recommend the hop on, hop off bus. They are really awesome ways to travel in the city without using Uber and without like walking your feet off. The city is huge. The hop off and hop on bus we got, um, while we were riding it, they gave us headphones to plug in, and we could hear the person leading the tour bus narrate what buildings were famous. We passed by where Jay-Z's high school, where he went to high school, was. So, depending on who is leading the tours, sometimes the narration is really great, and sometimes their narration can be a little bit lacking. But it is a really fun way to travel in the city. And the tickets we bought allowed us to have one night of going on the bus and seeing the city at night, which it was very cool. Highly recommend. My other thing was we did do a boat tour to see um, our Statue of Liberty. Now, learn from me. There is a place next to Ellis Island that's like obviously not on Ellis Island, it's in Manhattan. And you can buy your tickets there for the boat, and then you can wait at that pier and wait for the boat for when it comes. What we ended up doing, because we were lost a lot, me and my friend were constantly lost. We ended up meeting with a New Yorker who sold tickets to go on boat tours, or to go to a boat tour that will take you actually to Ellis Island where you can get off. We couldn't afford that. But when we bought through this person who was credible, he did have the right machine. He was very a source of credibility, I will say. And through when we bought it through him, he gets money for the tip that's automatically taken out. So we ended up spending more money than we maybe could have if we had decided to just wait till we got to the pier and bought our tickets there. But the line is really, really long at times. So pay attention to that and make sure you're ready and prepared. My other thing I just wanted to mention was that New York City people in general, I felt were really just different. I grew up in the Chicago area, so I feel like Chicago people are very much minding their business, just doing their own thing, maybe, you know, walking past you. In New York City, there's a lot of people, New Yorkers, who obviously you can tell when they live there and not a tourist. They have a lot of, they try to sell things. They are constantly in Times Square trying to, make a living. And so be prepared for random New Yorkers to come up to you and start a conversation and want you to. I was once handed a CD and I had to say, oh, no thanks. But they'll I was grabbed at that time and she didn't hurt me or anything, but just be prepared that New Yorkers are touchy-feely and they will talk to you, even though you are a stranger. They will talk to you, they will try to sell you something. I never had a bad interaction with any of these people. So I felt safe. There was a lot of police officers in Times Square, especially. There was a police officer on every street. And also that provided safety for me, a sense of safety. And my last thing that I wanted to mention is everyone told me that New York City is dirty and it smells. I have a very sensitive nose and very sensory processing issues going on here. I will say that there was times in different parts of New York City where it did smell kind of awful, but the scent passed. It was not a constant smell of ickiness. The day we left, it was garbage day, so there was a lot of garbage out, so much garbage out on the sidewalks and streets from businesses. And yes, it was kind of gross and it did smell bad. But for the most part, the whole New York City does not smell. Please do not be scared away by that. And I didn't see any rats. That's what someone told me that I could see when I was in New York. Thanks, friends, for watching my video. I'm so happy to have shared my memories of New York with you. And please let me know if you have any experiences or wishes to go to New York City. Please leave a comment down below, like and subscribe. And if you have any video ideas for my next travel vlog, please look at this email up top and send me an email. Thanks so much, guys. Until next time.